So that's kind of been the summary right there, that little 3-second clip of rain. It has been hot, it has been wet, it has been rainy. It's time to hunt now. If you've been a follower of the show or the podcast, you know that we do a lot of late season hunting, and that's kind of where we're at. Our rut kind of kicks off mid-December at the earliest here, where I am in Florida. But I'm actually not hunting Florida right now. In fact, I haven't done a whole lot of hunting in Florida, and that's going to change here soon. But I'm getting ready for a quota hunt in southeast Georgia. And we're about to load up the truck with a bunch of gear and get ready to get out there. So here are the conditions. We got this storm front moving through tonight, and tomorrow it's going to drop down into the low 30s. Highs in the 50s for about 3 or 4 days, and it just so happens to coincide with one of my rut hunts. So I'm pretty excited about this. About to load up the truck with a bunch of gear. We're going to get out there and get ready. I'm going to be slumming it in the back of the truck. We're going to do a video breaking down kind of how this goes afterwards, right? But we're going to load up the gear, get ready to go, and tonight I'm driving to deer camp. What's up, everybody? We got here. We're going to be kind of quiet because most people are asleep. But welcome to Casa de Lee. I don't know how good you guys can see that. There we go. So there's the bed. My gear all loaded up for tomorrow. Give you a different angle over here. Got it all set up. Pretty happy with this. So I am going to I'm gonna get food ready for in the morning, get the coffee pot kind of set up, and I'm going to bed. It's cold, y'all. It's gotten really cold. I'm really excited. See y'all in the morning. Well, first night was a little rough. Need to tweak my setup, but it's game day, baby. Let's roll. Lesson 234-A of sleeping in the back of your truck when it's freezing outside. You will fog up the windows, laugh about it that night, and then wake up to ice on all your windows. So now I sit here waiting for it to dethaw. Got plenty of time though. We gotta quit meeting like this. So this is the part of self-filming that I don't care for. Things go wrong. Things go wrong all the time in hunting, and when you're toting a camera, it just adds to the things that could go wrong. This hunt was kind of like a summary of things going wrong in a sense, and there's a couple different ways you can take a look at this, but I'm just going to tell you guys kind of what happened here. Evidently, on this camera, the battery can be jostled, and when it does, it corrupts an SD card. Unfortunately, the percussion of the rifle, as you just saw, that very last bit of the clip, that is everything I could recover from the SD card. I actually paid a company to go through and sort through the footage and try and recover it. And that was all they could recover because a couple things happened. One, the SD card corrupted multiple times, but also the jostling of the battery obviously kills the footage. So as you're watching that footage, right up to the moment it stops, that's when I pulled the trigger. that's not where the tragedy ends, though. So, in the photo that you see, the milkweed that I had been dropping out the stand that morning had been dropping right down to where that deer was standing. It was only a matter of moments before he could win me, and I was trying very hard to get on the tree and get anchored, but the lean of the tree made it very difficult, and I kept getting into, my bridge was in the way, and just it was very annoying. So I decided to freehand it at 55 yards, and the first shot was low and missed completely. Second shot, the deer buckles really hard and trots, not really trots, but kind of like slowly three-legged walks into the woods. I immediately felt like if the shot wasn't great and tried to get another one in him, but I only had 3 rounds. Such an idiot. I only took 3 rounds, and so as a result of that, I only had 1 round left, and I was almost 2 miles from the truck. And there was a lot of brush in between me and that deer, so I didn't feel like taking the shot and jeopardizing the last way I had to dispatch this animal. So I climbed down, ran to the swamp line, and tried to get on him. He already made it into the brush. At that point, I couldn't see him. I kind of thought maybe I had seen the deer bed down. So I got back, checked the blood, had some bubbly blood, a lot of lung blood, it looked like, and then some shoulder. Clear as day, meat brisket type deal. And what I think happened was, as you can see in that footage, the deer was quartering hard to me, but kind of to the left a little bit. And I think I entered in front of the front right shoulder, and I busted through the brisket and down out the other arm. And called all my buddies. Everybody said unanimously, go find that deer. Because I had heard something thrash in the bushes in front of me, didn't bounce, didn't run off, wasn't prolonged, it was just one big thrash, like something fell over. So I went in there, and I bumped the deer. And so, as a result, that was the second time I had bumped the deer, and I decided to back off, called a buddy of mine, and said, hey, what do you think? And he said, well, I'll bring a buddy and we'll come take a look at it. And everybody was convinced, based on the blood, that this deer was dead. And we ended up, the result was, he got thicker and thicker into a swamp. We kept trying to cut the distance, and you could see his, you could kind of see the brush move as he would disappear in there, but wouldn't present any kind of shot. At that point, I had multiple rounds. If I had had a shot, I probably would have anchored him there, even if it was just his hips, so I could have got up and dispatched the deer. But I wasn't even presented with that. And there was a lot of other hunters in the area, and I'm not just going to send a 7mm round through the brush in hopes. So we tracked this deer on our hands and feet through some of the thickest South Georgia swamps you've ever seen. And unfortunately, I had to call a dog, and even the dog lost track of the deer. What ultimately happened is the dogs followed the blood trail all the way down to where it stopped, kept going beyond that, and then gridded an area very, very hard, very intently, and even the dog tracker said, dude, your deer should have been here. I don't know what happened. We did everything right as we went, right? Maybe in hindsight, hindsight's 2020. Maybe I shouldn't have gone in as soon as I did. But I called my buddies, and everybody had the same opinion. And all you can do is make the best decision that you can in the moment. And I hadn't encountered this before. So it was a situation where you have bubbly blood, you have an abundance of it. It's a large bullet moving exceptionally fast with a lot of energy. Did the best I could, guys. And at the end of the day, all I can do is rest knowing that I did absolutely everything I can. And 2 of my buddies are still going back there. As I shoot this video, they've gone back multiple times, and they said they're going back as well, hoping to find that deer. But that's all I got for you. Unfortunately, the camera is malfunctioning now, which is my primary means of recording, so I've got to figure that thing out. So this is where you guys can help. If you enjoy the show, consider joining our Patreon account. There's a link below where you can click on and go check out our page. We post exclusive content there. We have a Marco Polo group where everybody talks to each other and shares hunting tips and tricks, all that kind of stuff. We give away hats. We do 4 big giveaways every year. And this spring, we have a monstrous one to kick off the year. If you want to, go check out Patreon. We'd love to have you over there. And the money that we raise from there goes directly into videography, camera arms, all the stuff that it takes to produce this show. And so if you decided to join, that money would help me get a new camera and help get me back on my feet in that regard. I think I may have a loaner being sent my way, but until then, I'm going to limp along with my GoPro, which won't give you, the best footage, but at least I can continue to bring you guys something. And we would love to have your support. In fact, It's amazing to me how many people support as it is, and we thank all of you from the bottom of our hearts. We literally could not do this without you. But to any of you who've been watching for a while and maybe you're kind of on the fence, this would be an awesome opportunity to have you join an awesome little community, get some free gear. We'd love to have you over there. So with all that said, guys, it's middle of December. Chase's rut's kind of winding down. Chase and I have one big hunt planned in middle of January for the Panhandle rut, I guess you could call it. I've got a little bit of hunting left to do in Southwest Georgia. The rut will be picking up there about Christmas through New Year's, and I'm gonna keep trying to bring you content. We're gonna keep grinding. Chase has had a hard year with the camera, which it's his first year, so he's out there grinding, learning everything I learned last year. But we're having fun, and we hope that you guys enjoy the content. Check out the podcast if you haven't already. We would love to have you go over there and listen. We have interviews with people all over the world, and they bring awesome insight to the whitetail, turkey, and western hunting, communities. That we really try and bring on guys that you tell us you want to see, and ask them the questions that you guys want asked. And until next time, guys, hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell notification so that you get notifications every time we drop a video. And until next time, get outside and enjoy the great outdoors.